You see, how's it going? Right, okay, I hope you've all had a good Christmas and Happy New Year. So straight back into it. Right, so this is what I'm listening to. This is the sound of Burkina Faso. I've shown this in a previous video. Been listening to a lot of compilations over Christmas. Yeah, this is a great album, 2 records on Mr. Bongo. So yeah, cool. Right, okay. I was gonna do a best of the year, best of 2018 video, but I didn't get around to it. So just to make it clear, this was my album of the year. I mean, there's some really good albums come out in 2018. I love the second album by Kodja Bonet, the dub album by Nat Birchall, the Krangbin album. As the year's gone on, I've got into that more and more. It's been a real grower, that one. The Paul Weller record. But this is my favourite album of the year. This is Tracey Thorn record. I think this came out back in March, and this is definitely the album that I played most in 2018. It's certainly been my go-to album. Yeah, I think I said when I showed this in an earlier video, it's not a dance music album, it's just pop music that you can dance to. Doesn't outstay its welcome, 10 tracks, and it really reminds me of that sort of electronic pop stuff from the late 80s, early 90s, so bands like the Pet Shop Boys, Depeche Mode, New Order. It sort of sits nicely alongside that sort of stuff as well, but you know, without sounding dated. So yeah, great stuff. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Cool. Right, okay, so I wasn't intending to buy much stuff in December, what they've been Christmas and you know, that sort of stuff, so but I did pick up a few things. So mid-December I went over to a friend's record shop over in Sutton Coldfield, Psychotron Records, and I picked up three records that day. First of all, this is Dancing With Nobody But You Babe by Clarence Read. Now Clarence Read is probably better known as Blowfly. He made a lot of albums in the 70s, 80s, which are pretty much novelty records, you know, a lot of Bad Language, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, not really my bag, but he did make 2 or 3 really nice soul albums. This is the first, 1969, on Atlantic, on Atco. Includes quite a few covers, 25 Miles, Get Back, the Beatles tune, Shop Around, Punk Solid Annie, yeah. And it's a really nice record, great condition as well, pretty much mint to be perfectly honest, so, but I'll do a needle drop on that, so cool, right, okay. This next one you can blame Head Before, another fat bearded man talking about records. About 2 years ago he sent me a CD of, it's a compilation of country funk tunes, one of the songs was by this guy, Joey Gregorash. The song's called Dollar Bill, which is the last track on this album. So I've been after this album for a little while now. It's been on my my Discogs want list for a couple of years. He's a Canadian artist, and it was, I think, originally released in Canada. So any copies that do come up on Discogs are always in Canada. So I've been put off by the shipping. But this came up on eBay in the UK, so it wasn't too expensive. Yeah, really nice album. It's, if you like Creedence Clearwater Revival, it's like that, but not as good, if I'm totally honest. But there's a couple of nice funky tunes on here. A nice cover of Down by the River, the Neil Young song, which was I think was a single in Canada as well, and charted over there. So a reasonably successful record over there. But yeah, I'll do a needle drop on this. Nice drum break as well on Dollar Bill, if that's your thing. So cool. Right, okay. Now I've seen quite a few videos over the last week or two, people showing their favourite finds from 2018. Now this is something I picked up mid-December from, I say, my mate's record shop, Psychotron, and this is Johnny Osborne, Truth and Rights. Now this is an original copy, original Jamaican press, sorry, on Studio One. Now this album, well, when I first got into reggae, one of the first records I bought was the Soul Jazz compilation, 100% Dynamite, and the track We Need Love featured on that comp, which is a beautiful song. I then heard on another soul jazz comp, the title track Truth and Rights, and since then I've been after a copy of the album. I did actually see another copy in the same shop actually earlier in the year, but it's totally beat. All the sleeve was split, some bad marks on the vinyl. I know Pete sold it, but I've never seen one in good condition, and this one turned up. I had to pay for it, but he gave me a good price. So yeah, that is a bit of a growl for me, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, nice to get a copy of that. Right, okay, and one of the record I picked up that day, just a cheapie really, the Dream Warriors, and Now the Legend Continues. Yeah, so Dream Warriors, This album came out in 1990. When the first single of this album came out, You Wash Your Face in My Sink, it felt a little bit like a novelty record. It's very different to what was going on at the time. Although looking back now, it does sit quite well alongside the likes of De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest. The other big tune on this album was my definition of a bombastic jazz style, which is a great song, and actually, you know, albeit it's a hip hop tune, I've seen it crop up on a couple of acid jazz compilations as well. So yeah, it's a big tune, but the rest of the album's pretty good, but not as good as those two singles. But please pick it up. Right, okay. Actually, in my other videos, I've been showing quite a lot of 45s. And I picked up a couple off from Discogs, a Discogs seller in December. These are only £1 each. Now, if anybody ever asks me, I always say that my favourite song is Let's Stay Together by Al Green. And I've obviously got it on LP, I've got it on CD, but I've never had a nice 45 of it. I saw this on Discogs, it was only £1, sort of listed as near mint, and it is. The label's beautiful. I say it's original UK copy on I say UK London. Yeah, the vinyl's lovely as well. Unfortunately though, it's a very muddy sounding pressing. It's it's not a great pressing, so it hasn't really done the job what I was looking for it to do. But it's still nice to have in the original company sleeve. And at the same time, from the same seller, I picked up a very nice copy of Tired of Being Alone by Al Green as well. So that was only £1, and that sounds great. A really bright pressing. Got me thinking though when I was playing these that both of these tracks are written by Al Green. When we speak normally around soul singers, we so often talk about their voices, which is understandable. You know, the likes of Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, wonderful vocalists, but they were all incredible songwriters as well. When we talk about songwriting from the 60s and 70s, we tend to talk about the likes of Dylan, Lennon, McCartney, obviously the lot from Laurel Canyon, all that sort of stuff. And quite often, from a songwriting point of view, the soul singers and the soul artists are often overlooked. But I mean, yeah, as I say, Let's Stay Together, my favourite song, an absolutely perfectly written tune. So yeah, thought I'd show those. Right, okay. I'm talking about Memphis. This is an album that came out a couple of months ago. This is well, the full title. This is Give Out But Don't Give Up, the original Memphis recordings by Primal Scream. So what happened was 1991, Primal Scream had a massive album, Screamadelica. One of the best albums of the 90s from my point of view. It's a perfect mix of indie, dance music, dub, gospel. Everything's thrown at it and everything works, you know. So, however, they probably enjoyed the fruits of their success a little bit too much. So by the time it came around for a follow-up album, they hadn't really got much together. So they went out to Memphis to record with Tom O'Dowd. Now, Tom O'Dowd had worked with Jerry Wexler back in the 60s and early 70s for Atlantic, so recorded a lot of those great Atlantic sides, the likes of Just in Memphis, recorded with, say, Aretha Franklin, I Never Loved the Man. Yeah, so all those great soul records. So Primal Scream chose to go and work with him. This is the album they recorded then. But basically what happened was that when they heard the finished product, they bottled it. They basically didn't think that they could put this album out as a follow-up to Screamadelica. So they ended up taking the tapes home. They got George Clinton to record a couple of new songs with them, and the tapes that they had recorded, they put out to other producers to manipulate and put, you know, fancy sound effects on and such, like dance beats, to make it sound a bit more like Screamadelica. This original recording though has surfaced 25 years later, and it is absolutely beautiful. There's a very good BBC 4 documentary about the making of this album on TV a couple of weeks ago, and in it, Bobby Gillespie, the singer out of Primal Scream, basically says, hearing this now, it makes it very hard to make another Primal Scream album because they know that they'll never make a better record than this, and I fully agree. You know, a lot of people are saying that this is what they should have put out in 1994. It's absolutely not. What they put out was perfect for the time, but this is the record that will stand the test of time. You know, it's a gorgeous, very honest, straight rock and roll album. The first two tracks, Rocks and Jailbird, are, you know, up tempo tunes, but the rest of it is very laid back and just beautifully played. So I can't recommend that enough. Right, okay, again talking about Memphis, this is Scotty Moore, the guitar that changed the world. Now, obviously Scotty Moore was Elvis's guitarist. I picked this up from a friend in the summer, I think it was. I only paid £3 for it. Yeah, and I played this a lot back in August. It was the 50th anniversary of the 68 comeback special. And I went to see a print of that at the cinema just for one night only. It was showing on the anniversary. So a week or so either side of that, I was playing this album quite a lot, and it's basically Scotty Moore doing instrumental versions of famous Elvis tunes. So the likes of Hound Dog, Heartbreak Hotel, That's Alright, Don't, Mystery Train, Don't Be Cruel. Yeah, I mean, it's in pretty good condition. £3 you can't argue, so cool. Right, okay, now my wife refuses to buy me records when it comes to birthdays and Christmas. I think she thinks I buy enough of myself, and she doesn't like to fuel the addiction. But this year she did actually buy me a couple of records. I showed her an album a couple of weeks ago in my last video. It's a Studio One compilation, which was based around Lovers Rock. But what I was saying in that video was that when I think of Lovers Rock, I tend to think of the British acts, you know, the likes of Carol Thompson, Janet Kay, and this is another one of those acts. This is Brown Sugar. They were, you can see, a female trio. This is all stuff from the late 70s, early 80s, and I originally heard about them because of this lady here, Karen Wheeler. She went on to sing with Soul to Soul, so those great vocals on Back to Life and particularly Keep On Moving, big tunes over here. That was Karen Wheeler. And that made me look back at this band, and this is a really nice compilation of their stuff on soul jazz. It's what soul jazz do so well. Double vinyl, excellent sleeve notes, gatefold sleeve, nicely pressed. I've been playing this quite a lot, and I'll do a needle drop on that as well. Right, okay, and just a couple of quickies. This is something I picked up from a charity shop in the summer. 12-inch single, Sugar Cubes, Hit. This was the band that Bjork was in before she went solo. Yeah, a big tune for me in the late 80s, very good. And finally, Jesus Jones, Doubt. This is another album, 1991 I think it was, yeah. A few big singles on this, Real, Right Here, Right Now, an International Bright Young Thing. Big tunes for me at the time. Never had a copy of the album, so pleased to find out.
Nobody but you, baby. I'm doing my real thing. With nobody but you, baby. I know a lot of people been telling you this and that. Oh, don't you listen, cause they don't know what's at. Whenever you need me, just call it off your bed. I'm doing my thing. Ride down to the station, gonna buy myself a ticket, gonna leave this town behind me. I'm sitting by the window, watch the world go by. Well, it looks like I'm on my way. I'm gonna feel the blues are coming on. Yeah, I feel the blues, and then a voice say, give me $1 you never reach your destination, boy. You're gonna have to pay it. Children run, come to truths and rights. That's what I'm about. You know the truths and rights. Teach it to the children. You know the truths and rights. Teach it to the children, so they should know. No, 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 no. Children, say a little prayer.
often said to do damage. Skin so strong, even Superman needs a hand. So bob your head, dread, as I kick the funk flow. This rhyme is subliminal, yet you don't think so. I walk with a gold cane, a gold brain, and no gold chain. Behind the truth lies, there lies a paradox. In the mix is where dream warriors go to find if you will, but I know so. There is no definition. My definition, my definition, my definition is this. My definition, my definition, my definition, my definition is this. My definition, my definition is this. My